It's time to talk about what's going on in America. It's time to talk about what's going on in the workforce and in the homes of the American middle class. It's time to talk about the status and the future of today's economy. It's time to talk labor with your host, Jerry Williams Sr.
Well, hello, Talk Labor fans. We're back again today, and so happy to be back with you today. Had a great time yesterday. We're going to talk about that. I got a couple of guests that's going to be on the show today. I think you're going to really enjoy. But this show is about labor, mainly. We talk about community. We talk about the state. We talk about the country. And we got all the answers. All you got to do is listen to us. What I tell you all the time, don't bury your head in the sand. Please don't. Because if you do, it's still going to happen to you. Don't pretend like it don't happen. Or it's not going to happen. It will be happening. This is a very serious business going on here. With this clown, Donald Trump, trying to run for office. Here's a guy that never been head of anything in his life. Daddy gave him a whole lot of money. And he's out there pretending like, oh, he's the world's greatest whatever. If you said he was the alien, he'd be the world's greatest alien. He just tell any kind of lie. And he says one thing, I could go out there and shoot somebody right in Times Square, and they would still vote for me. That's probably right. Because of the people that follow him. You have a lot of people that are not very smart. They belong to the knuckle-dragging Neanderthal club. They don't have any sense at all. The only thing they know is, well, he's going to get rid of those Negroes, and he's going to get rid of those Mexicans, and he's going to get rid of those whatever, Muslims and all that. So that's why we're voting for him. Now, we knew David Duke and his group was like that, but you had a lot of undercover racists that are coming out that have always felt that way. Now they say, well, you know, Donald just says what most people want to say. So that's what you want to say? You want to do these things? Well, hell, let me say what I want to say, okay? Let's just go at it. But this is America. One thing I do believe in is America. I told people that when Barack Obama was running, I said the American people are going to vote him in because they know he's by far the best candidate. What was the guy's name? John McCain. And then when he ran again for re-election. People, oh, he'll never get it back because he's not. I said, listen, Barack Obama talked to the people. He's going to get re-elected. And guess what? I said he's going to get re-elected. It's going to be a landslide. And it was. Same thing here with Hillary Clinton. But you come on out and vote. You don't take no chances. Hillary Clinton will be elected President of the United States. And people are talking about, well, this little Donald, that's what I call him, little Donald, is saying, well, she wasn't a woman, she wouldn't even have these votes. Man, please. This woman is 5,500 times smarter than you. She knows what she's doing. I said that when she was married to Bill when she was in there with Bill Clinton as the first lady. I said then, this is a smart individual. She's going to be president of the United States one day. And my wife will tell you that. We sit there and I told her, I said, she's going to be president of the United States one day. And it's coming, and it's coming right about now. But that's enough of that. Now I had the pleasure of going down to Springfield yesterday with a group of people, and we did a rally, and we talked, and we had a whole lot of stuff going on. And it was a lot of fun. A lot of education for some of the younger people that went down there, especially some of the younger union leaders. And what I did, I brought my guest on today because he's a former union organizer and just a union man himself. He's retired now, but he's still very active. His name is Leon Davis. Leon, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, Jerry?
All right, man. Good to see you again.
Oh, yes.
Listen, I was down in Springfield yesterday. We had a great time. We had over 10,000 people down there. Oh, and we're talking about how we are going to make sure that the middle class remains the middle class. We're not going to let anything stop that.
Yes.
You know, so we work hard. We're going to work hard at that. One of the things, though, and I want to ask you this question too. One of the things that got us in the position that we're in now, and what I mean by that is that in the 1970s, your 1%, meaning your people that are your upper echelon people, that are your big managers, your corporate people,
Yes.
their salary was 30% of what, you know, say for instance, if you made $1, they got $30. You know, for every dollar you got, they got 30. Now, for every dollar you get, they get 3,000.
So,
That was after Ronald Reagan with his voodoo economics
Yes.
came on board.
yes.
What do you think about that?
Well, I thought about it then, same way I think about it now. They, those rich people, they come in there, they get themselves all kind of big tax breaks. They keeps the money, and they look at us as though we are the one who gonna actually do the work for you, and we the one gonna put that cake there for you. But we are the one that you gonna give that little crumb to.
That was that trickle-down economics.
Yes, that's exactly what has been going on for so many years. And I have always been, you know, about organized labor, because we see what those people does, and now we need to get out there and have someone to represent us, someone who can
Right.
speak up for us, because everybody can't go and talk at the same time.
Right, that's true.
And this is what you call organized labor.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, you can stop a lot of this stuff that is going on.
That's true. And you know, I tell you what about organized labor too. They have to work together. Now, do we have problems inside labor? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we do. Because we got some trade unions that are traders.
Yes.
And they go over and they work and vote with management. And I'm going to talk about it with my guest who's going to be on here later on, Ron Roach. Sometimes we fight with them. And give you a case in point, and I'll just tease you with this, but this is a fact. I got it on paper. We filed a big lawsuit,
Yes.
you know, in favor of the workers because they attacked us, you know, with this bill that they had put together.
Uh-huh.
And we went to Supreme Court. And do you know that the trade unions went with the CTA and filed a brief in favor of the CTA to keep our members from getting their money that they put in the pension plan? Now, yeah, that's the look I had on my face when I read
How can
that.
you rule against
This was the trade unions doing that, and I don't mind saying that because it's true. I don't hide anything. If you're doing something wrong, we're going to talk about it, and I'm going to name the trade unions and the people that actually wrote a brief in favor of the company saying these people shouldn't have their money. Now, keep in mind, they have 200 people working on Chicago property, and maybe 40 of them are in the pension plan, okay? About 40 in the pension plan. While ATU Local 241 and 308 have 10,000 in the pension plan. But these guys are ruling. They vote in favor of management on everything that goes on, and they are one of the people that sit on that board as trustees at the pension. But that's something I'm going to get into with my next guest. But right now, I want to get back to what's going on here in this election, what's going on with, unions in labor.
Well, you just think about what's going on. I was watching the news when you all were down there in Springfield yesterday, and I was listening to Mike Madigan. I was understanding every word he said. And he don't in so many words he's saying Ronald came there specifically just to destroy the union.
Well, when you look at it, you don't And it ain't just like Rounders, a person out on the island by itself. It's a bunch of people, and it looks that way. But what I'm concerned about is how people have to look within themselves. See, here's the thing. Be it Bruce Rauner, Mike Madigan, Cullerton, or any of your aldermen, the mayor, you see, you are responsible for people that are in office.
Yes.
When you put those people in office and they don't do what they're supposed to do, you don't know what's on a person's mind.
No.
But if you get in there, they don't do what they're supposed to do, then what do? You take them out.
You take them out.
Right.
You go to that voting booth. You
Right.
vote.
Right.
That's the way we can get them out of there.
Right.
And put the
Right.
people in there who gonna be for
Right.
the people.
Right. And some of the things I look at, and I think that is really important here is that our kids are not getting what they're entitled to, and that's the education, a real good education.
That's true.
And if they don't get the education, you close down 50 plus schools, what are they going to do? Go out and start, just keep shooting each other, increase it.
And that's what they're doing.
Yes, they increase it. And if you don't try to do something about it, when I say do something about it, I don't mean get some more guns and shoot the kids.
No.
I'm talking about get some jobs, after school activities, you know, that type of thing. Leon, what do you think about that?
Well, we have to, like I said, we got to elect people in there who gonna get on those same issues and start fighting to get jobs here for our young kids. There are a lot of jobs out there.
Yeah.
But where they put them, they put them way out in the suburb.
Mm-hmm.
So our young black guys, I'm not just specifically saying black guys, but the young black, they don't have the transportation to get out there to those jobs.
And if they get out there, are they gonna get the job? You know, that's
they will be put way down on the list in order to get that job.
Right.
So
if they don't get a job, and somebody's out there and say, hey man, take this pistol, we can go out there and make you $1,000 a day.
That's why they
go shoot Billy over here. I'll give you some, you know, this is nuts.
And this is what they teaching them, and this is what these, I'm gonna say KKK, the KKK, whatever they are, they are the one who want this to happen. They want these kids to get going and kill up each other.
Right, and that some people say that's a planned situation. And I'm like this, and I'm not excusing you, Jabari, for what you're doing. I'm not excusing anybody. You don't go out and pick up no gun and shoot your brothers and sisters.
Absolutely.
Your mothers and fathers. You know, you don't do that. But one of the things that bother me the most, I guess, maybe, you know, they play this up so like black on black crime. The world is coming to an end. Look at what they do to each other. Oh my God. You know, the reason I say that because, and I'm going into another segment here, and we're going to get to the Supreme Court ruling in our next session, but in our next section. But the reason I want to get to this is because we give out scholarships every year. We give out millions of dollars of scholarship. We meaning the Infinite Scholar Program.
Yes.
Okay. And media don't cover when you're doing good things like that. We had a press conference set for Infinite Scholar at Inglewood the day before the actual event. And there's the flyer back at Inglewood. And the press was there. We got them there. And that was a shooting down the street. You know, they all ran off and left. And we were like, hold up, wait. We got 1,000 kids here that's getting scholarships and, you know, show some this good stuff, you know. We got to see this shooting down the street. This is the way they do it. Now, you have just as much white on white crime as you do. You have more white on white crime than you do black on black crime. But we're the only ones that have our face in the media, in the news every day, every week. And when you do that, what does it make our kids think? Well, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to shoot each other.
Yes.
So what do you think about that?
The media is the one who killing the kids when they keep doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't think about nothing positive of the black.
And so many things positive we do.
It's so many positive things, and they just don't report it.
Right.
But they'll go and draft all of the negatives that goes on with our young kids. You got so many kids out here doing really, really well.
And
they don't get noticed.
Yeah, and you also got a lot of black, you got a lot of, heroes that these kids can look up to.
Yes.
But they don't show them. Give you an example. There's a 19-year-old gymnast. I can't think of her name right now. She is the most prolific gymnast ever. And look her up. You know, probably go Google and say 19-year-old African-American gymnast. Simone Biles. My producer just whispered in my ear. Simone Biles. This girl is so fantastic. But has anybody heard of her?
I'm just hearing it for the first time.
You know, and your role model, so many great role models are out there.
Yeah.
But you don't hear about that. You don't hear about those things. And, this is what bothers me, because this is what's killing us. But now, this is what is done to us. But now it's incumbent upon us to pick up ourselves and do something about that, straighten that out. You know, Mom, Dad, we all live in the neighborhood. We know each other, and we know each other's kids. All right? These kids are not, they're not some type of monsters. But if you leave them, and if you leave them unchecked, they will become. They took a lot of power away from us. And I heard a very prolific speaker say this, and I forget her name. But she said that, people are afraid now. The teachers are afraid if they get disciplined the kids, that something's going to happen to them.
Yes.
Principal is afraid. And if the principal go to the district person, they're afraid. District person go to the alderman, they're afraid. She said the only person not afraid is the damn kids. So they do anything they want to do.
What they want to do.
We used to have opportunity to discipline our children like we're supposed to.
Yeah.
But now, you can't do that anymore. You discipline a child, you go to jail.
That's why, the average person is just not like the old days when we were growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Our parents, not just our parents' friends.
Yes.
Would tag that little behind.
Right.
And you go home and tell, then you're going to get another one.
Right.
So if it was like that today, we'd have a lot better going on in this world. You won't see all of the things that we're seeing, all of the killing.
Yes,
and this came up, we got so many of these guys out here, they deliberately make guns, put them on these trains like they shipping them somewhere. They know they don't intend to make no money out of them. Mm-hmm. They want these kids to go there and steal the gun off that train and go and kill up each other.
And when you do that, what happens is, they're just so terrible. Just do anything you want to them. Get them out, whatever you can do.
Yeah.
And they start taking your land that you got.
Yep.
Because we're going to run you out of here.
Yeah.
Look at where you used to live. Down to Cabrini Green. Ran you out of there. Oh, look what they did over there.
Yeah.
Some of the other areas. Just look at all that. And the reason I'm saying this is not because it was such a terrible thing and place and they did. It was terrible because you didn't get into service.
Right.
I'll give you an example. Moved out to Richton Park 16, 17 years ago. We moved out there, everything's great. I mean, your tax dollars were great. We had a place out there called the Lincoln Mall. Beautiful place. It was great.
Yes.
Now, when African Americans started frequenting it and moved out there, still spending money. I mean, you go in there, that mall was buzzing, making a lot of money. But they decided, well, we're going to close that mall down. Why? Well, we're just going to close it down. I went over and looked. I went over to, Orland Park. They took the Lincoln Mall and set it over there because it's the identical thing. And what happens is people don't understand this. It ain't that they are concerned about you buying the products. You're going to buy the products, Leon, but the tax dollars now go to their community.
Yeah.
The people that moved us over there. The tax dollars that was going to our schools, going to making sure that the streets are clean, all that stuff, it's over there now. And Walmart, one other thing, Walmart, who had a store right down there on in Madison, they got TIF money to open that store. I mean tax money, TIF money. They don't pay no tax. Open that store, and I think the TIF money is like good for about 4 years or a period of time. Well, the 4 years is up. You know what they did? They moved from there. Now they come to Richmond Park. Now they got TIF money in Richmond Park. This big old store, nothing wrong with it in Madison. Now they close that down. Now they bring in a big old store in Richmond, and then they got TIF money, and they're gonna do it over in what is that? Chicago Heights. They're gonna do the same thing.
Yeah.
This is the way these guys operate.
See, but we all gotta open our eyes up and do a little bit, letting them know, hey, listen, we are not stupid. We see what you're doing.
You know, this is why I have Leon and people like him on, because we talk to a lot of lawyers and legislators on this show, but sometimes I like to just talk to homeboy, and I like to talk to people like you and everyday people. Let's just talk about that, because people got to understand this show goes around the world, and people around the world get to see what's going on, and here in Chicago, Illinois, and in the United States. That's why we just have a homeboy talk, and I like it, homeboy.
Yes.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you for having me, home.
You're the best. You're the best.
All right.
We're gonna get ready. I'm gonna get ready to have my next guest on. We're gonna talk about the Supreme Court ruling. Some very important things that we are gonna talk about. Before I do that, we had a letter sent to us by, and I just was reminded of this, a letter sent to us by one of the people that took advantage of the Infinite Scholar Program, went on to college and just did his thing. We got a lot of them like this, but he just sent this letter. His name is Michael Butler. And he says, Infinite Scholar alone is the reason I received a college experience that prepared me for a life in leadership. As a senior in high school, I made the decision to attend a historical black college. I desired to be in a higher education setting with peers who shared a similar racial experience as mine. That choice came with a glaring realization that I had insufficient knowledge about my choices of colleges who fit this category. Infinite Scholar helped me navigate my college search and ultimately helped me receive a full scholarship to my school of choice. I attended Alabama A&M University, where I majored and graduated with a degree in business management. While at AAMU, I was elected as the student government president, a member of the board of trustees, and participated in numerous businesses and civic conferences, allowing me to travel the country and build an enormous network. I am currently a Missouri State representative and can definitely say that AAMU prepared me for a life in leadership. None of that would have ever been possible if it wasn't for Infinite Scholar. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So we cherish Infinite Scholar here. So
yes.
Leon, my man.
Thanks again, home.
Appreciate you being here.
Yes.
We're going to take a commercial and we'll be right back with my guest, Mr. Ronald Roach.
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry. know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Okay, we're back, and as I promised you, we're going to talk about the Supreme Court ruling that came down in Illinois. And I got a guest with me, Mr. Ronnie Rhodes. Ronnie.
Hey, Jerry.
How you doing, man?
Good, good.
All right. We did this. We of course, you went to Springfield with us yesterday.
Yes,
and
I did.
We got so impressed with the young people that they're starting to learn now what their strengths are and stuff.
Right.
But I want to get back to the Supreme Court because, you know, am I upset about it? Yes.
Yes.
Because we were reading it. I read it, and you were reading. You said something to me. You said something to me last night that you got to tell them what you told me last night.
I started reading the brief, and it appeared to me as though the Supreme Court is saying that the law doesn't apply to black people or to us.
The law don't apply to black people.
That's what they're saying. If the law reads, and to my understanding, that you base your decisions on the law.
And you interpret the law.
You interpret the law the way it reads.
The way it reads. You don't try to go
You don't
any further than
change,
that.
you don't add, you don't do anything but interpret it the way. And if the situation is not conducive to the law, then you rule in favor of the situation. What they said is, now, all 4 of us had the same case.
Right.
But when it came to our case, it's blatant. They said, well, the law doesn't apply to you.
Even though they set the statute
They set
for
the statute.
law
Yes, they did.
for the other 3.
Yes, they did.
And not just 3, they had more, but the
Right.
3 that we're talking
But
about.
Yes, these particular 3.
But they said it don't apply to us.
Well, that's what they said.
See, this is what I got a problem with. It reminds me of the U.S. Supreme Court and what they did at affirmative action.
Yes.
And what they tried to do on the Voter Rights Act.
Yes.
You know, they're like, well, you know, whatever. We are full citizens of this country.
Yes.
We're not 3/5 human,
Like they say.
you know. And that's the problem I got. And are we going to fight that? Oh, yeah,
Yes.
we're going to fight it. We'll continue to fight it. And it's people say, well, Jerry, you know, why are you fighting it? Because you've been fighting a long time for the thing, the lawsuit, and you know what? Because I'm passionate about it.
Yes.
I don't want to see them walk in and try to walk over people. Now, just for you who don't know, the lawsuit was filed because they passed a bill in Springfield that diminished some of the vested pension that people had, active and retirees. Now, the Supreme Court eventually ruled that because the unions did it back then, signed off on it, they can do it. But now, when it came to the fire department, the unions agreed, and they said the union was wrong, so they ruled in favor of the workers. When it came to the police department, the Fraternal Order Police, whoever they were for the police, they agreed with the mayor, and they did it to their people, and their people filed a suit, and they turned around and ruled in favor of the people. They said they can't do that. But when it came to CTA, and I might add, Ronald, 90% people of color,
Yes.
they said, oh yeah, they can do that. Now, 2 of the justices, if you go and read
Read the brief.
the ruling, read their ruling, and you're going to see that 2 of the justices are saying the same thing that I'm saying, Roach is saying, that you can't do that. You're only supposed to rule on interpretation of the law, not talking about some other garbage that you try to make it look like, oh, we're stupid and we don't know any better. They said that this is two of the other two judges that ruled in our favor. They said that all you had to do is look at the Kenerva case. It was identical to this one. And you ruled that way with Kenerva. Why did you not rule that way with the CTA, with the case that we had?
Because?
They did not rule that way because they figured that they can get away with it.
Yes, they could.
But they picked the wrong people. If you think that that's the end of the fight, no. You won that battle. But we're going to win that war.
The war ain't over.
We're going to win that war. Now, what's happening, too, you got people in there that thinks that this would give them carte blanche to just continue to screw the people. Now, the people that put the money in there are the people that work there.
That's right.
10,000 people. What they did in that bill also, they went down to Springfield and wrestled control of the pension away from the unions. What I mean by that, you had equal control, block votes, 5 for labor, 5 for management. In order to move anything, you had to get 3 votes from labor and 3 from management. But they went down and changed it, so they said, well, you still got your 5 votes from labor and you got 5 from management. But we're going to add this independent person, just in case you all have a tie. We never had a tie. We never had a problem since the pension was since the inception of the pension. Never had a problem with that.
Right.
And if you had a tie, you go to an arbitrator. Nobody asked for no tie. That was them. They went down there, and the independent guy that we're going to give you is from the RTA. The RTA. What union do you know that RTA? Nothing but management. Now, here's a serious problem. The trade unions that they got sitting there as a trustee.
Yes.
That independent person from the RTA votes with management 90% of the time on crucial issues. He's supposed to be independent, but he votes with management. If the union says, listen, I'd like to put a motion in that we go to the bathroom. Oh no, we got to discuss that. Nope, we can't. I swear to God, this is the way it is. But when they put a motion in, it's like, yeah, we're going to, and this is what happened. I'm not joking with you. This is what happened. They put a motion in and said, we're going to give the director of the pension plan a $40,000 a year raise. Union was like, oh no. Well, ain't a damn thing you can do about it, union, because we stole your votes. And they gave this man a $40,000 raise. Never explained why he should get a $40,000 raise. We got members that can't even get their prescription because you say the pension is going belly up, but you give him a $40,000 raise and a $30,000 bonus out of the pension. And he's looking to do other things. Let me give you a little more. They put in a ordinance, a motion, they meaning people on that pension board, who do not reflect the people that put the money in there. Made a motion. They hadn't put any money in the plan. They just on the board because somebody appointed them there. They made a motion to put themselves into the plan, even though they haven't paid a dime. And what they said was this: we are going to put $50,000 in that plan, but I'm going to get $200,000 a year the rest of my life. That's what it is. And if they don't like it, tell them to call me on it. They know me. Call me. They don't like me, but I don't give a damn. Am I upset about it? Yes, because you're stealing. It's borderline criminal. It may be criminal. We're going to find out.
It's not borderline. It is criminal.
We're going to stay with that, Ronnie.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to stay with that. Now, let me give you one more thing they did. Back then, 8, 9 years ago, these people took the active members and said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to charge a healthcare trust. We're going to start a healthcare trust fund, and we're going to make you pay for it.
That's right.
right? They'll make you pay for it. So what is the healthcare trust fund? What is it we're paying for? Well,
it's a slush fund.
it's a slush fund. But they said that the reason we're charging this healthcare trust fund is because we're going to make sure you have health care when you retire. Okay, all right. So now I'm paying for my health care while I'm working here,
Right.
separately from what you're talking
Right.
about. Yeah. I'm taking care of my health care while I'm working. But I want to charge you another health care,
3%.
3%, so that when you retire, you'll have money. You'll have health care.
Okay.
All right?
Well, now the rule is you have to be 64 and have 25 years
There
to
you go.
retire.
26 years.
26 years to retire. Okay. Now, if you be 64 and when you get 64, you retired 64.
Let me give you this because I talked to a economist.
Okay.
I had him to do the figures for us.
Okay.
Okay? Here's what happens, and I know where you're going with it, Ronnie, and I'm right with you. That first, let's find out why did they do it. And that question is, I'm like, okay, if you start out like you said at 25, and you're paying into this healthcare trust till you get 64, 65, what happens, Ronnie?
Well, Medicare kicks in at 65. You retire at 64.
Right.
And I heard the numbers you were talking about. You put about $130,000.
I'm gonna give you that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you that.
Now, whatever you put into the plan for all those years, just say 21, because you can start working there at 21. Now, you work 44 years. Now,
But what happens when you get 65?
Medicare kicks in.
Okay, so you're not using that money.
Only 1 year. You
Right.
can only, and if you happen to be 65 when you retire, you don't get to use it at all.
Right. So, folks, what they're doing, they say that they're going to make you pay this money. Say you're 25 years old, like you said, and you go to 65. 40 years, you're going to stay on the job. Now, when you retire, you're going to get Medicaid. So the money you paid in,
You get nothing.
you get nothing for it because that money's not, you can't put it back in the pension plan.
right.
So what are they doing with their money? Okay, here's the deal. And you were going there and I had an economist to come in and figure this out. They pay $3,000 a year on average. Each individual paid $3,000 a year into the healthcare trust fund that's supposed to be for you when you retire, right? If you multiply that times 40, you're going to come up with $120,000 that you're going to be paying in, each individual. It's going to pay in $120,000. You're not going to get a penny of it. You're not going to get a penny. Now, what I had the economists do, I said, the people are paying $3,000 a year. I said, if those people put $3,000 a year into a mutual fund, can you give me some numbers on how much they would have in 40 years? You know how much it was? $14.2 million for each one. Wow. If you were putting that money into a mutual fund, you would be getting in the area of $14.2 million for each one of you. Now imagine what they're making off your money while you are working your butt off and you're not going to get anything back. You know what they said? They turned around and said, well, we'll give you a debit card, and if you get sick and you can't pay your dental bill, we'll help you pay a part of your dental bill. No, give me my money. $14.2 million. And this is from an economist, and he said he'll get in front of any television and show you that. I had two come up with the same number.
Let me add something, Jerry. You know how we play with numbers and we talk about money. Let's just say you take 10,000 people times 3,000 times 14.2 million. Let's take 10,000 times 3,000 for 40 years times 14, 10,000 times 14.2 million. How many billions of dollars is that?
My figures don't go that far.
So let's say in a 40-year period, if nobody can get, we'll just stop at 40 years.
Yes.
if nobody can get a dime of that money back,
Yeah.
do you realize how dangerous you are if you just said it sounds like 400 billion. Just said 400,
I don't-
144.
I will, if you want to, I'll get that. I'll get that answer for you.
Just to think about it,
I'll get that answer for you.
just $400 billion or 1.4 trillion or something like that.
Yeah.
Now you think about the person that has control of that much money.
What they can do. And we're getting ready to wrap this up, but what happens is this, folks. This is your money, and I'm talking about, and for people that don't know, the Chicago Transit Authority did this to the people. What people got to do is get your block votes back.
That's right.
There's a way to do it. We're working on that right now. We're going to need you 100% with us. We're going to get it back. Now, you think about what I'm saying to you. Ever since they passed this bill, they've been taking out healthcare trust money on you. Now go look in the books and see how much money they got in the healthcare trust fund. Over $700 million they got from you right now. They took that from you, invest your money. That thing is worth over $700 million
Today.
right now. Almost $1 billion they've taken from you in just these few amount of years. Started taking 09, what is this, 16, 7 years.
They started taking 08, didn't they?
9. That's when
09? Okay, 09.
It was
Passed in 08.
08, and they started taking out 09. And it's been 7 years. They're taking out, that slush fund is up to $700 million. Who do you think is going to get that money? You're not. When you retire at 65, you're going to get Medicaid, Medicare. Am I saying it right? Medicare? Yeah. Medicare. And they say that, if you get this little debit card they're talking about, let's say you get it. Now, you're not going to get your money back. You don't get your money back. If you have a little problem, they may give you a little bit out of that debit card. And if you die, and your spouse die, your family can't get the money.
That's right.
So, and the question, well, where's the money go? Nobody answers when you ask that question. This is why they were like, oh, hell, Jerry, let me tell you something. That happened. These people concocted up a lie, and they always try to lie on, they lie on people.
That's what they do.
And they do it, and they told a lie on me, but they got caught in the lie about Jerry Williams. And the thing is, they don't want me around. And you told me I got to be careful they jump out of the bushes and shoot. Folks, if they jump out of the bushes and shoot me, Ronnie going to take over.
That's right.
So we ain't got to worry about that.
And if they get me, we got somebody else.
We got somebody else. We don't die, we multiply.
That's right.
Right. But anyway, no, am I upset about it? Yes. And I'm going to be fighting you. And yeah, I know you look at the show. I know they look at the show because they tell me they look at it. But the thing is, we're going to make sure that this happens when, in the very near future. I think there's one of them calling me now. Let me see. Yeah. No, but seriously, this is serious. All the things I just told you, go and figure it out yourself. Get that. You can go to an economist yourself. You ain't got to just take my word for it. Each member pays around $3,000 per year healthcare trust. Okay? And tell them to multiply that by 40 years. Okay? You start 25, you retire at 65, and then ask them, if you put that in a mutual fund, what would your probable return be? If it ain't 14 million, you come back and call me, because I talked to 2 economists. You're not getting that money. Nobody's explaining who gets that money. And we're going to keep fighting. And I really appreciate the president they got over there at 241, because he's not afraid to stand up. But we're going to keep fighting until we find out. And I want you to know, brother, in that meeting that you had, I know what was said about Jerry Williams. You know me too. Okay?
We know you too.
Yeah, but we're going to see you again next week on Talk Labor. And I'm going to have some more juicy stuff for you. If you think I'm wrong, come and get me.
That's right.
We'll see you again. Talk next week.
It's time to talk about what's going on in America. time to talk about what's going on in the workforce and in the homes of the American middle class. It's time to talk about the status and the future of today's economy. It's time to talk labor with your host, Jerry Williams Sr.